So my wife and I, we did a thing. We ended up stopping by PetSmart before this movie because we said, you know what, we're going to watch Secret Life of Pets. Let's go look at the dogs. His name is Buddy. He's 9 years old. She's always wanted a Boston Terrier, and we ended up adopting a Boston Terrier. You're our first dog together. You excited? He's tired. He's also shaking a little bit. He's a little nervous. What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about the brand new film, The Secret Life of Pets 2. That's right, this movie is coming out here in a few weeks. If you guys have seen it, let me know what you think. And if you have not, are you excited for it? Did you like the first one? We're going to get into all of that in this review. And let's talk about The Secret Life of Pets 2. So continuing the story of Max and his pet friends following their secret lives after their owners leave them for work or school each day. Austin, how'd you feel about the first movie? Well, I thought The Secret Life of Pets 1 had a lot of potential. I loved the first few trailers. I was a bit worried just because Illumination's track record, it's really good in some cases, in other cases, not so much. But at the end of the day, I don't think the first movie capitalized on its potential, and I can look back and say it wasn't the best. It wasn't horrible, it was good for kids, it hit the target audience, but it didn't do enough for adults for me to say it was a good movie. Now, the sequel, the unwarranted sequel in some people's opinions, listen, if you didn't capitalize on this the first time, what makes me think you're going to do it even better the second time? Saw the trailers, and I thought the trailers were cute, as I did the first. But here's the thing about these movies is they start out, and like the first 15 minutes of the movie, they give you the promise of the secret life of pets, the cuteness, things that animals do in real life, doing it in the movie in a way that makes the audience crack up and laugh. It's when they go outlandish, get into those zany situations that they do in the films, is when I kind of lose interest. The kids are going to love it. And that happens in this movie. They do go on their little adventure and they do the thing that they did in the first film. But for me, this movie actually does a better job of giving us the cuteness, giving us more of it, more of what we like to see and what we are laughing at, and then doing the story, and then going on this crazy adventure that all comes to a head in the third act. I didn't care as much about the adventure aspect of this film as I did not the first time around, but it was less prominent and in your face in this movie, and it focused more on the humor that kids will love, but the humor that adults will also laugh at. There were people in my theater that were a lot older than the kids who this movie is actually intended for, and they were cracking up. The two loudest and hardest laughs in my theater came from the two guys sitting next to me. They were cracking up, and I think their laughter was actually infectious because it made my wife and I just sit there and cackle the entire film. But I will say, I have to admit, this movie provided some great humor, some cute jokes that kids are going to love, but adults are also going to appreciate. It's not pushing boundaries. It's not saying things that, oh, it's those jokes that only adults are going to get right. No, these are universal jokes. These are jokes made for families, and that's what this movie is for. This movie is for families, and The Secret Life of Pets 2, for me, was better than the original. This is one of those few times that a sequel comes out after a very disappointing first movie and manages to kind of not get me back on board, but make me appreciate the fact that they did another film. Yes, it's going to make all the money in the world. It's already tracking for a huge opening weekend in terms of what this movie is supposed to do. It might beat X-Men Dark Phoenix. Like, that is an accomplishment in itself. So yes, it is made to make money, and they get this grand voice cast and all these famous people to do marketing and bring them in. Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart, who are great in this movie. Really funny. Patton Oswalt, who replaces the former voice, Louis C.K., as the new voice, and he's actually pretty good. I really liked his voice work in Ratatouille. Yes, he's a lot less dynamic in this movie, but he does a competent enough job. My big issue with this film is that there are three main storylines going on in this movie. You have the main storyline with Max, and then you have the two side storylines. One of those three storylines involving a circus, for me, was completely over the top, so unrealistic. Yes, this movie is unrealistic. It's full of talking animals, but so unrealistic that it took me out of the movie, and it just wasn't as funny. And because it wasn't as funny, it made it less entertaining, and that's when I look at the film and I go, yeah, this is a kid's movie that's not appealing to adults. The other two stories, one was okay. it was fine. It wasn't needed, but it was there, and I was okay with it. The other one, the one involving Max, really, I liked. I thought that was a nice storyline because they kept that sense of humor, that wittiness that I like about the first few scenes of this movie, because the first third was what we like to see about the secret life of pets, the interactions with humans, the lovability of the characters. The next two acts were all of these storylines happening. The fact that I did not care at all about one took like 25-30 minutes of the movie and just makes me look back on it and go, that was completely useless. Yes, without it, the movie would only be like 55 minutes long, but it was still a storyline involving Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart. I love those two characters. Their voice acting is great, and Kevin Hart is super entertaining in this movie, but that storyline I didn't care about. It was dumb. That entire aspect of the movie is dumb. And because of that, I'm going to give this movie a lower score than I was after seeing the first half of the film, just because the third act combines all of those storylines, and I just didn't care about a lot of the stuff that was happening on screen. I wanted to get back to the humor that I was really laughing at and enjoying at the beginning of the film. Listen, there are quirky things and jokes and characters in this movie that will make you laugh. The turkey, it got me. Interactions with the humans, those things got me. And there is an emotional aspect that if you are a pet owner, then I truly think you will enjoy, and that's the appeal to adults. And I wish it kept that and didn't get so outlandish like it did in the third act, because that almost completely ruined the movie for me. But overall, I'm not going to say this is a bad movie, because I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it is a better movie than the first Secret Life of Pets, because I just didn't like the first one. But this one actually slightly managed to win me over. I'm still not going to go 6 out of 10. I'm going to go 58% for The Secret Life of Pets 2, only because there was so much going on in there that I didn't care about, but those things that make you laugh, they will make you laugh, and it is fun for the entire family, and that's what this franchise is all about. So I definitely recommend it if you have kids, if you have pets, if you love animals. Go see this movie. You may get a laugh, and it's not too long of the film. It only clocks in at about 120, so that's not bad at all. I need you guys to comment down below. Did you like this movie? Are you anticipating? And do you think the sequel will be better than the original? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm gonna go play with my new dog. Yes.